Hello knitters, Cindy Dell here. I am going to show you how to do some lace work. I should say that if you like my videos, any of my videos, give me a thumbs up. And if you would like to see more, please subscribe. That really helps me with my channel. So today I've written out a simple lace pattern, and you can see here this is one repeat of a lace pattern that you might see going around, the yoke of a sweater, such as the first lace sweater class that I'm teaching currently. This is not the pattern. This is one that I just made up. This has 24 stitches, and as you can see, it's balanced. So for every increase or yarn over that you have to have one decrease. Here we have another yarn over and a decrease. And what that does is it balances the motif, and you make sure that you don't gain or lose any stitches. So after we get done with this, we're going to still have 24 stitches, even though we've got increases and decreases. So let me show you how I'm going to do that. I'm almost finished up with this swatch here. Just going to move it so that it's closer. You can see it. Start here. I'm just finishing up this purl. Then we're going to turn and get ready to work our lace row. If you're doing this in the round, you're not going to have any purl rows. Of course, you'll just have rounds of knitting. Okay, so our pattern says to knit 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The next thing we have is what's called a knit two together. What you're doing is you're knitting 2 stitches together, and that decreases the number of stitches that you're going to have. And the knit 2 together is a right leaning increase. You don't really need to know that right now, but just know that it leans a certain way. When you get over here to the other decrease, which is called SSK, it leans the other way. It leans to the left. And again, that adds symmetry, so it's going to look like this, a yarn over and a yarn over, like that. So for every yarn over you have a decrease. Same with this one, yarn over, decrease. And you maintain the 24 stitches across. Okay, so we've knit our 5. The next thing we're going to do is knit 2 together. So the way you do that is you just push your needle up through both strands, both stitches. Just as if you were knitting 1. If you were knitting 1, you would do this. When you're knitting 2 together, you do the same thing, except that you're taking 2. Wrap your yarn around, and there it is. Let's do it again. We've knit our 5. We're going to stick our needle, our right needle, up through, yarn over that, pull it through. The next thing we see is to knit 1. We're going to knit 1, and the next is the yarn over. All you do for a yarn over is this, instead of, when you make a knit stitch, you wrap the yarn counterclockwise. You do the exact same thing for a yarn over, but you don't have this stitch up. You just wrap your yarn around, like that. So we've made the yarn over. Now we have to knit 8. So we're just going to keep our yarn to the back after the yarn over. You're still knitting, so your yarn has to be in the back. I'm going to knit 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The next step, it says, is a yarn over. So we're going to do that, yarn over, just like we did before. You're going to knit 1, and then the last decrease is a left-leaning decrease called an SSK, or slip, slip, knit. Here's how you do that. You take 1 stitch, you put your right needle in and slip it off. Do it again. So you've got 2 stitches that you've slipped. You're going to want to knit these, so you put them back onto your left needle. And then you are going to knit through the back loop, just like that. Let's do it again. I'm going to orient these correctly so that they're mounted correctly. The leg, if you recall, the leg is in the front. Slip 1, slip 2, and then you're going to slip them back onto the left needle and knit them through the back loop. Here's a trick. I'm going to reorient them, is all I'm doing. Slip, slip, put them back on the needle, on the left needle, but don't take your right needle out. You can leave it in just where it is and knit it, and you get the same result. Let me show you that again. Orient them correctly. I'm to the point where I need to slip, slip, knit, slip, slip. You're going to insert your left needle into the base of those stitches. But don't take your needle out. I mean, if you want to, you can, but look, it's the same. Just leave your needle in and knit it. And then knit 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's our first row or round if you're knitting in the round. I'm going to turn the work on this swatch and we're going to purl back. In the case of the sweater, you're going to continue, you're probably going to be repeating this over and over again until you get to the end, because your lace is going to go all the way around the top of your sweater or the yoke. We're just doing one small segment of that, and to get back to it I need to purl. Oh, I wanted to show you this. Here's our yarn over. We don't do anything special with it. We can see that it's not mounted, it's not a stitch, it's just hanging there. We're gonna purl it or knit it, whichever side you're on, just as usual. You're not gonna do anything special with it. The same goes for the decreases. When you get to the decreases, you're just gonna purl or knit them just like you would any other stitch. There's no difference. I'll get back up to that yarn over here. And you can see it when you get to it. It's right here. Just purl it or knit it, whoops, however you're working. Continue on to the end. Let's take a look. You can see there's a nice little hole there over the pink. That's what you want. Now ordinarily you wouldn't want a hole, right? But this is lace, so it's a decorative thing. I'm going to knit one more. row and show you what it looks like when you've got a couple of rows above your lace. Usually in lace, like in the sweater that we're working on, there's a one round of lace, one round of knitting plain, and then the next round is another lace round. And it's different. It will be different than this because it forms a pattern. But all you do is read it line by line, stitch by stitch. So this would be our plain knitting round, and then the next round we would do a lace. There we go. It's really pretty. That's our lace. I hope that's helpful.